Hi, I'm Sandra Markle, and I have just made my middle grade novel, Gas Gold, available on Amazon on Kindle, a Kindle version. So it's free if you're going to be reading it through Kindle Unlimited, and very inexpensive and available to share if you're going to be purchasing it. I thought, what could I share to give you a flavor of this story? And I thought, well, I'll just read the first 2 chapters. So here we go. Chapter 1. An alligator, big as a car, is waddling onto the road right in front of us. "Hey!" I shout, and Aunt Willie yanks the steering wheel hard right. The pickup truck we're riding in skids off the road, misses the gator, barely. "You okay?" My aunt steers back onto the road. She gives me another worried look, about the zillionth one since she's picked me up at the airport. I nod to make her happy. So she doesn't feel like she has to talk to me. I slide over close enough to the door to rest my elbow on the open window. I lean my head out. I can see why dogs like it. Even oven hot, I like the blast of air on my face. I open my mouth to see if I'll catch any bugs. I also squint to see what's beyond the scrubby bushes edging the road. We've just crossed the bridge from the mainland to the island. There's only a peak of the ocean now in the pickup's side mirror. Most of what I see edging the road are scrubby pines, and I'm going to be spending the whole summer here. We turn onto a narrow road that's even bumpier than the one we leave behind, but this road's different in another way. It's completely lined with really big trees. They're not pines either because they're stretching leafy branches out so far they touch above the road. It's like we're in a green tunnel. My aunt pokes my shoulder so I'll look at her. "Awesome, huh? These live oaks are over 100 years old. I totally love them, don't you? I mean, think of all the history they've seen, all the storms they've endured." "Yeah, the trees are cool, but not worth getting all gushy about." Then we're out of the trees and bumping to a stop in front of a 2-story white house with a porch sprawling across the entire front. "This is it." Aunt Willie switches off the engine. "Wakula house." "What's it called? Wakul?" I drag my duffel bag off the seat as I climb out. "Wakula. It's Seminole Indian for mystery, which is fitting." "How come?" "Supposedly there's a spirit in the house that controls what happens here." "You're kidding." "It's what the locals told me. I come full stop fast enough to kick up sand, so the place is haunted?" "No, more like instilled with an intriguing history." Aunt Willie takes my duffel from me and heads for the porch, so I tag along. I've never sensed anything in the house, but Fiona claims she has. She says she's friendly. "Who's Fiona?" "She's a girl from the village who helps me out. She'll be here tomorrow morning, and I know you'll like her. She can be a little, quirky, but I've decided to find it charming. And she totally loves all the animals." And Willie sets my bag on the bottom porch step. "Come on. Wakula house is right on the edge of the island's nature preserve. It'll be dark too quick to go exploring tonight, but there's something I can show you." "Wait." I follow her down a trail. "We can't just leave my bag out here, can we?" "Who's going to bother it? Nobody lives within 3 miles except a sculptor, and he's a good friend." Aunt Willie waves for me to follow. "This way." She shoves through the tall bushes and is immediately out of sight. I stop, stand where I am, but that makes me alone in this jungle place full of spooky noises, and who knows what else. So when she calls to me again, I shove through the bushes too. Chapter 2. 2 steps and I'm knee-deep in ferns and swatting a cloud of bugs. "Aunt Willie!" "Over here." Across the bridge and into the woods. Be careful you don't trip. There's lots of tree roots poking up. If I fall and break my leg, can I go home? That thought tempts me for a half a second. Then the truth smacks me. Where would I go? The Manhattan apartment belongs to somebody else now. Dad's in Seattle, starting his new job and finding us a place to live. I trot across the wooden bridge over the stream and immediately trip. Spit out a word I'm never supposed to say. I'm pushed off the ground when Aunt Willie grabs me under the arms and hauls me the rest of the way up. I figure I'm about to get yelled at for swearing, but she only brushes me off. "You okay?" I bob my head. "Good. We'll see Bambi first. I've got some old towels in the forest cabin." She waves for me to follow and takes off again. Bambi? Boris cabin? I'm going back to the house. I set off, powered by a full head of pissed off. Then halfway back, wading through the ferns, something low-slung and big crashes past me. I get a shiver at the sight of this tawny, low-to-the-ground animal that is all rippling muscles. Quick as a blink, it's gone, leaving the ferns and me quaking. It takes me a whole minute sucking air before I can even guess, what was that? And then a girl strolls up. What was what? She looks to be about my age, 12, but she's, filling out in a way that's hard not to notice. You didn't see it? It was right there. I point, and it was really wild. Now she looks interested. Was it a ghost? I shake my head. Some kind of animal. She smiles, and the world brightens. Casper must be back. He's a coyote Willie found with his front foot in a trap, and she nursed him back to health. She lets him run loose around here? No, silly, that's his idea. She sweeps her hair into a ponytail. It's, cross my heart, the color of honey. She anchors her hair with a band she tugs off her wrist. His foot's all healed up, but no matter how far into the reserve Willie takes him, dear old Casper always comes back. I shake my head. I'm about to tell her I'm pretty sure that it wasn't a coyote. But before I can get to that, she sticks out her hand like she wants to shake. So, of course, I've got to be polite. I'm Fiona. You must be Gus. She looks up at me because I'm maybe half a head taller. All I can do is stare because touching her gives me a jolt, just like scuffing across the carpet and touching a metal doorknob. Hey, I'm trying to be nice. She flips back that amazing hair. But if you want to be rude and not talk to me, I'm out of here. Wait. My ears heat up when she stops and turns around to face me. I'm Gus. There's rustling and footsteps behind me. Then Aunt Willie marches up. I wondered where you went. Aunt Willie tosses me a ragged towel, then turns to the girl. Fiona, you were supposed to go home. I did. Dad radioed his fishing boat isn't docking until morning. She laces her fingers behind her head and stretches. It's a move that makes her look very shapely in her tank top and heats my ears up again. I quickly focus on rubbing my hands clean so she doesn't see me staring. Daniel says you never look straight at girls' parts. You just sneak peeks. Figured I'd sleep on the sofa in the kitchen and do the raccoon kit's midnight bottles for you. Oh, and Casper's back. Gus saw him. I poked the air. Hey, I didn't say I saw a coyote. I didn't think it looked like any photos of coyotes I've ever seen. Then what was it? Aunt Willie tucks her straggly hair behind her ears. I shrug. I'll bet it was Casper, Fiona says. And by the way, Delilah's flying. Finally, I have to see this. Aunt Willie sets off with Fiona chasing after her. Who's Delilah? Who cares? Aunt Willie's got Fiona. She doesn't need me to be out here in the dark, in this creepy full of plants and who knows what else place. Besides, there's some animal out there. Could be close, watching me, ready to pounce. And I think it's a whole lot more dangerous than that Casper the friendly coyote. I drop the towel and hustle. Wait up! I follow Aunt Willie and Fiona into a little wood tin roof cabin. It's like darker than night inside. Hey, will somebody turn on the lights already? No, that was Fiona. Delilah needs it dark. That was Aunt Willie. Who's Delilah? That was me. Aunt Willie clamps a hand on my shoulder, and I jump a mile high at least. Shh, keep your voice down and stand still. You'll scare her when she flies by. At the sound of stuttering clicks, I jerk to the left, then right. Hey, what's in here? Look through these. Aunt Willie pushes binoculars into my hands. They're for night vision. I lift them eye high and look. What I see blows me away. The inside of this cabin is a cave. I mean, it totally looks like a cave. Then, as small as my fist thing swoops into view. I see it. What is it? Delilah. Delilah's a bat. Fiona elbows me in the ribs. Let me look. I hate to give up my ability to see that bat flying around me, but I hand over the binoculars. Right after that, something brushes my cheek. I squeal and duck. Shh, Aunt Willie hisses. Fiona whispers, You're scared of Delilah? I make myself straighten up. No, I just don't like blood-sucking bats. She's not a vampire bat, silly. Fiona fist bumps my shoulder. Delilah's a Florida bonneted bat. She eats insects. I'm ready to say, well, okay, why didn't you say so? But Aunt Willie speaks up. Delilah's pretty rare kind of bat. Somebody from the village found her in their backyard. A cat had caught her and damaged her wing before she was rescued. Fiona adds, they brought her here, of course. They knew we'd take care of her, and we did. Delilah's wing is all healed now. Aunt Willie, hands on my back, steers me toward the door. Let's go so she'll settle down. We don't want her overdoing. But I'd say she's flying well enough to leave us soon. Maybe next week. I walk in the direction Aunt Willie gently pushes me, outside in the moonlight. Fiona comes alongside. Wasn't that cabin neat, Gus? Wait till you see the others. There's more? Thanks to Coop. Aunt Willie leads the way again. Fiona twists her ponytail around her finger. He's a sculptor. How'd he make that cave so real? Aunt Willie smiles, stretches ear to ear. He's a genuine genius at turning junk into art. He's transforming the old guest cabins. Wakula House was a camp for kids during World War II and through the 50s. However, it was abandoned after that, or it wasn't until I bought the place. When people found out I was a biologist and here studying Florida panthers, they sort of assumed I was interested in all of the local animals. And pretty soon they were coming by to drop off anything injured or orphaned. Aunt Willie shrugs. I guess they were right, because I kept them and took care of them as long as they needed to be here. And Coop came along and decided to make Wakula House a proper wildlife shelter. Coop used to build movie sets in Hollywood. Fiona holds up a cupped hand. I heard on the radio there was a chance of rain tonight, and it's starting. Fat raindrops splat my head, run down the back of my neck. I've got to get out of here. Fiona squint-eyes me. You think you're going to melt? I wrap my arms over my cramping stomach and double over. Aunt Willie rubs my back. Breathe, Gus. You're okay. Straighten up now, so we can start walking to the house. I make myself straighten up, suck air through my clenched teeth. Fiona spreads her arms wide. What's wrong? It's only rain. I know it's just rain. I try to sound mad, but my voice cracks. It's raining harder now. That stream could be rising. I thought the memory sneaking into my head, the one where I'm running through the pouring rain, followed by Daniel. Fiona beams, see, it's letting up already so we can show Gus more of the cabins. Aunt Willie looks at me with a tight pinched face. Let's go back to the house and see the rest tomorrow. But Sammy's right here. Fiona covers the 10 or 12 feet to the next cabin in a dash. It has a garage door, and Fiona's lifting it by the time Aunt Willie and I get there. The door creaks up and slides back, revealing a space with 4 corner posts that are real tree trunks. At least they look real. The ceiling's crisscrossed with branches dripping Spanish moss. In the center of the cabin, there's a pool. It looks real, too. It even has plants floating on the water. Fiona covers her heart with her hand. Poor Sammy, he has to live at Wakula House forever. So Coop made his cabin extra special. It looked hard for an animal, but all I see are twin dark lumps of something floating on that mirror flat water. What is Sammy? Then I don't need an answer, because the lumps are eyes rising out of the water, a giant alligator's eyes. I'm still shrieking when I take off running for Wakula House. Behind me, Aunt Willie hollers, the kitchen door is unlocked. Arms and legs pumping, I run flat out. Even faster when laser bright lightning slashes the sky. I cross the bridge in a single leap, well, maybe 2. When I get to the house, I charge up the steps, across the porch. Before I can grab the door handle, though, the door opens. There's a man as big as the doorway. I take a good look at his face, and my jaw drops. That's the end of what I'm going to share. The rest of this exciting story, a real pirate treasure hunt, a chance to save that Florida panther that Gus glimpsed in the beginning, is coming up too. And some other surprises, some amazing things are going to happen. Enjoy it. Gas Gold by Sandra Markle on Amazon. Now, free and very inexpensive on Kindle. Bye-bye.